twice. It was missing. All right, thanks. Good evening and welcome to the Zoning Commission regular meeting held on April 10th, 2025 at 7 p.m. in Brookfield Town Hall Room 133. All please rise and do this pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll have our commission members introduce themselves, starting from my left.
Denisio Fontana, alternate.
Phoebe Holmes, alternate.
Gwen Arment, member.
Anthony Papucci, Vice Chair.
Kurt Timmerman, Chairman.
Matt Grimes, Secretary.
Sean Turner, member.
Greg Petroni, alternate.
All right, thank you.
Motion to enter into executive session regarding McGovern versus Zoning Commission and to invite Town Attorney Tom Beecher and Zoning Enforcement Officer Fran Lally into executive
Second.
session.
All right, thank you, Matt. Do I have a second?
Sean did,
Oh,
but
Sean
I'll
did?
I'll
All
do
right.
it if you didn't hear him.
No? Thank you, Sean. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, unanimous. And if you'd please leave the room, that'd be great. Thank you.
No offense intended.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, and the recording secretary.
right.
Secret.
I was,
Want to let them know they can come back in? Thanks, Tom.
take care. Good night.
Have a good night. Enjoy the trip.
Start from the beginning, or?
Yeah.
I must have turned
Thank
it
you.
off. I just turned it back. All right. All right, let the record show there were no motions made in the executive session.
I'm sure Vicki would like to have.
All right, item 3, review correspondence. There's another Newtown text and zoning change. You guys can read it in your leisure. They have a new special design district along South Main Street for mixed use. Then review the minutes of March 27th, 2025. So Tony wasn't here, Phoebe was, and so is
All the
anybody-
regulars were, although the regulars were.
you know, yeah. Anybody want to make a motion to?
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
All right, thank you, Sean. And do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Gwen. Any discussion on the minutes? Any corrections, amendments?
No, I just, I'll be making a motion about 20A Indian Trail and later items,
All right.
right?
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, unanimous.
Didn't hear what he
Do
said.
you want to make a motion now to add a?
I guess we could before the public hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to add to the agenda a zoning enforcement discussion on 20A Indian Trail.
All right.
I'll second it.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Any discussion on adding an agenda item? It's going to be a short one. All in favor?
Aye. Okay, so we had made a motion, I believe it was at the second meeting in February, because 20A Indian Trail had appealed to the Zoning Board of Appeals. They were to take it up this past Monday, but they are not going to. They continued it to May 5th. So therefore, the motion that we had made was to issue citation if the issue was not resolved by April 8th. So since that's passed now and they have not resolved it, I'm going to make a motion to continue that enforcement action of raising it to citation if it's not resolved by May 6th.
All right, that's your motion?
Yep.
I'll second.
Tony? Tony seconds it. Any discussion on pushing that out to May 6th? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, unanimous.
Good.
Thank you, Matt. No continued public hearings. Then 6A, I have the instructions I'll read here, and then you'll read that. All right. This is a regular meeting of the Brookfield Zoning Commission. At this point in our agenda, we have scheduled a public hearing concerning the application of Rob Blanchett of Borgesi Builders for TS Grove Point Marinas BB LLC, 32 Northeast 191 Street, PMB 50448, Miami, Florida. Application Z-25-14 for a special permit with design review application for demolition of 2 existing buildings and construction of a new 8,609 square foot footprint building with associated paving and drainage improvements. First, I'll have the members of the commission introduce themselves again, starting from my left.
Benicio Fontana, alternate.
Phoebe Holmes, alternate.
Gwen Arment, member.
Anthony Papucci, Vice Chair.
Kurt Timmerman, Chairman.
Matt Grimes, Secretary.
Sean Turner, member.
Greg Petraccioni, alternate.
All right, thank you. We will open this public hearing by calling upon the Commission Secretary to read the legal notice of this hearing.
Okay, it's published in the News Times. Legal notice, Brookfield Zoning Commission will hold a public hearing at Town Hall, 100 Pocono Road, room 133 at 7 p.m. on 4/10/25 for an application by 474 Candlewood Lake Road, Z-25-14, Rob Blanchett of Bordersea Builders for TS Grove Point Marinas BV LLC, 382 Northeast 191st Street, PMB 50448, Miami, Florida. Special permit design review, application for the demolition of 2 existing buildings and construction of a new 8,609 square footprint building with associated paving and drainage improvements. At this hearing, interested persons may appear and be heard in written communications received. Files are available for inspection at Brookfield Town Hall. Kurt Timmerman, Chairman.
Thank you, Matt. This application was formally received by the Commission on March 27th, 2025. The public hearing is only one aspect of the approval process and is for the purposes of accepting factual information and data bearing on this application and to allow expression of opinion by interested parties. Subsequent to this hearing, the Commission has 65 days in which to render a decision on the proposal. The final decision may be in the form of approved as submitted, approved with stipulations, or denied. After reading into the record the correspondence received by the Commission relative to this application, we will ask the applicant to present the application in detail. Presentation will be limited to 45 minutes. The Chair will then entertain questions of clarification concerning the applicant's presentation. We will then hear from those who wish to speak in favor of the application, followed by those who are opposed. Comments must be limited to 5 minutes. Members of the public who have one opportunity to speak during this segment of the hearing may also submit their concerns in writing during the public hearing. During this segment, the commissioners may ask additional questions. The bylaws of the commission allow only for the presentation of similar positions in succession and preclude the intermixture of comments pro or con. All questions and comments must be directed through the chair. As you are recognized, please state your name and address so your comments may be legally recorded. Please be assured that everyone will be given the opportunity to speak. However, the commission is most interested in hearing factual information relative to the application. In view of the time constraints placed upon us, we ask your indulgence, not reiterating the comments previously presented. After the public comments are received, the applicant will have the opportunity to comment, and the time will be limited to 10 minutes. Are there any questions? We shall now ask the secretary to read any correspondence, but I don't think there is.
I don't think we have any.
Just to note, they are in front of inland wetlands right now, so we can't come to any decision until inland wetlands has their decision. So this will be continued.
Do we have to leave the public hearing open, or could we close the public hearing?
I
I know we can't,
don't-
I
yeah,
know we
there's
can't
nothing
decide.
There's no new information we'll get from inland
I
wetlands.
was gonna say, either they're gonna be approved, or we think they.
Yeah, it's either a yea or nay. Let's see, the chair is now prepared to listen to your application.
Okay.
Are you gonna take all 45 minutes?
I'll guarantee I won't. For the record, my name is Rob Blanchett. I'm with Borghese Building and Engineering, and we're representing Brookfield Bay Marina on this application. I just wanted to give you the proof of the mailings.
Okay, thank you.
There were actually only 2, so we're actually bordered on property on 2 sides by town of Brookfield, so they said not to bother sending one to them. The other property on this side is actually property that they lease from that property owner, and then the other one being First Light. The buildings, I don't, you're probably familiar with Brookfield Bay Marina, they're in a little bit of rough shape right now. So we're looking at doing some major improvements to the site. The first one is demolishing the 2 buildings that are currently on the property. This one, which houses boat storage, boat repair, in their office area, and then this one being a storage building. So we're actually taking the square footage of the building right now, which is at 11,673 square feet, and shrinking that down to, in one building, down to 8,609. So that's gonna drastically reduce the amount of building size on there. We're also going to be increasing the amount of green space on the site by 3,064 square feet in the process of shrinking the building and bringing everything more into the middle. In addition to these improvements, we're also going to be doing some improvements to the storm drainage system, which exists out there now. Some of this coming from an on-site meeting that we had with First Light out on the property. So right now, everything just goes to a catch basin which is located here and goes directly out to the lake. First Light requested that we add a rain garden to this area right here to capture some of that rainwater. And there's a stone strip here off of the pavement that goes here into that area. The rest of it, which collected into this directly from the catch basin, from the downspouts and everything. Now there's going to be a underground galley system that's going to be located there, then into the catch basin. One of the things that First Light requested is the existing storm drain line, which comes out to the lake now, is that be replaced, because right now it came right out on the top of a retaining wall and dumped into the
So it
lake.
just went directly into,
Yeah, so that, they wanted that pipe replaced so it's not dumping out, it's down low and into the lake from there. Then the current system doesn't really account for any stormwater detention. Now it will, because it'll be going into the galleys and into that rain garden. So they requested that it captures the first quarter-inch of rain and held in those two areas. So that we did for First Light. Another item which First Light requested was to shore up along the shoreline. There's retaining walls along there now. First Light requested that we put boulders against the rocks to give it a more, one, to break the waves, but also to give it a more natural look along the shoreline. So that's what we did there. As you can see, I mean, right now there's really no plantings around the building. There's a little planter in the front. But landscaping, we're gonna have landscaping and raised landscape beds that go all along this side, along the front, and adding a couple of trees in this area, along with the planting of the rain garden area in there. Everything conforms to the zoning regulations as far as height, lot coverage, impervious lot coverage. We're raising the amount of parking that's out there now. Currently, there's parking along the building right here. There were 4 spaces here, and then they had 3 spaces over here. That, we're gonna increase the parking to 13, just to give them a little bit more parking. Per the regulations, based on that being a storage use, you really only need 3, but 13 is a little bit more appropriate for what they need out there. The building itself, go to the floor plan. You can see the majority of it is pretty much just gonna be in the summertime for boat repair within this area, which they have now. And then for boat storage. Then we have a storage mezzanine up on the 2nd floor, and just like a little multi-purpose room and a front desk area and retail down on the lower level. The look of the building, we wanted to make sure we had a lot of glass facing the lake, so you could kind of take advantage of that. So this is the look of the building, a lot of stone, a lot of glass on that side facing the lake. So big improvement from what's there now. I think that pretty much wraps up. So I think overall, between making the building smaller, improving the storm drainage, improving the look of the building, give it a nice clean look, is definitely
an improvement.
an improvement from what's there now.
So the drainage is less, that comes off the property because you have an infiltration.
Yeah, we have an infiltration system there.
And it looks like you're going from a non-conforming, as far as lot coverage, to conforming, so. we did
Yeah,
that
the
non-conforming.
other thing that we're doing too is right now the building is kind of right up on the property line. Everything's being pulled back, so we're gonna be off the property lines
Right,
from
so you're
what's there now.
conforming there. So you're
Yeah.
taking a non-conforming and making it legal.
Yeah.
I mean, you're making it conforming.
making it conforming.
All right.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. I can walk to this property, and yes, tearing those buildings down, and you have the opportunity to make it look really nice. My concern is it's a scenic route, Candlewood Lake Road, and you're doing a nice job for the lake look, but what about Candlewood Lake Road?
From Candlewood Lake Road is this, so that's where we're gonna kind of raise up this planter along there, windows along there. There's gonna be boat storage on the inside, so,
I understand, I mean, looking at it from the lake would be nice if that was the look from the front, Candlewood Lake Road. Sort of like Candlewood East, it looks nice from the front, doesn't look industrial. And that was our concern, the people around there. To make it look less industrial from Candlewood Lake Road.
I think we could probably come up with something to dress that up,
I mean, your little.
to maybe pick
your
up
little-
some of this look.
Yes.
on
and-
that.
Yeah, and you even took the little cupola, yeah.
Well, that was one of the things that they
From
liked that we
Candlewood
did at
East.
Candlewood East
Yes.
Marina. They said, we really liked what you did with the cupola, so we said, okay,
Absolutely.
we'll
But
do
if
that
that
here.
could be on Candlewood Lake Road, that would be, kind of tie it in, would be very nice.
I got a question. So that addresses the buildings. Are the lifts that are to the north of the buildings, are those external lifts? Is anything changing?
Oh, the racking system?
Right.
That they have there?
Right, and the reason why I'm asking is, again, now this kind of goes into the conformity, the building in the front, especially if the parking and the buildings are cleaned up. But then you have the woods and the trees that kind of buffer those racks.
Yeah, that's the adjoining property, so they don't actually own that property, they lease that property.
Oh,
Okay, and that's why I was asking.
Okay.
Because in the documents, you also reference the other Candlewood Lake property, which is also a marina that may or may not be part of this. But again, there's a diagram of the house, and again, it's mostly boat storage.
Yeah.
It's basically just grass
on the
that-
right.
Yeah,
To the
over by the
right,
restaurant.
yeah.
To the right,
That's all
yeah, this
storage.
is the parcel.
No, I'm talking this. In this pack, it talks about the house, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the lot. This is actually,
Oh.
this is by,
This, okay, that's the survey that should be.
no, this is different. That's the reason why I'm saying.
Yeah,
This,
that's an error, this drawing shouldn't, I
Yeah.
don't even know where that property is.
it's down the street.
Yeah,
And-
it's down the
and-
street.
And I think it's owned by Brookfield Marina, so the
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, we're not doing anything
No,
with
that's,
that.
and that's the reason why, again, now this goes with, again, where those racks, those elevated racks are.
Yep,
Knowing where the two buildings are and how that gets done, again, I think that's actually a marked improvement. The problem becomes, that'll end, and then you've got all of the, the triple rack for all the boats that they get stacked in the wintertime with the trees and all of that stuff, which then goes to the banquet hall. Down the road, there's a couple houses, but then there's a restaurant, and then there's a big open lot and a ramp that goes down. That's also, I think, part of Brookfield Marina,
yeah, that, not part of this.
which is why I was
Yeah.
asking. 'Cause
Yeah.
Again, the drawing was in the pack.
Yeah, I think it was all tied into that same survey
Nope, that's
drawing,
fine.
but not part of any
Okay.
improvements for
So
this.
ignore that.
But the boat storage next door, that's leased
That's leased.
by these people.
So that actually answers both my questions.
Okay.
That's the demarcation of what's being done. And what
Exactly.
won't get done, because, again, they don't own the property.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions from commissioners?
I think this is gonna be a very good improvement in the current situation there over on Candlewood Lake Road.
Is there any questions, clarifications?
I'll
The record show there's nobody in the
I had a
audience.
comment real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I agree with Glenn down there. It's kind of like beautify the roadside a little bit, because to me, it just looks kind of plain.
Yeah, I think we can do something with that.
Yeah.
The same token, though, as Kurt said, we're bringing a non-conforming property into conformance here.
Yeah, no, I think that's, but I think the bigger problem is, I think the building fits the need. It doesn't, it's a marked improvement. The problem becomes where this property ends and the lease property begins.
I don't think we can consider that.
We can't,
Yeah,
no, we can't,
yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. Again, my thought was that was all part of the same parcel of land. It's not.
Yeah, yeah.
That's,
Yeah, we're gonna have to be a little careful of what we do on the front of the building here. Only reason being is we're kind of, it's a small site, and we're kind of constrained, and we're kind of right at the limits of impervious coverage, so we'll try to come up with something
Just
creative.
a little more glass, a little more stone, a little,
But, yeah, I think
something a little prettier.
we should be able to do something.
We can leave the public hearing open just to come back with an alternate plan. Because we have to leave it open. We have to continue this anyway, because you have to wait for wetlands.
Yep.
So,
We could close it, but if they're gonna do the thing, that's all right.
yeah, leave it open, then they can submit another plan.
Mr.
If
Chair.
not, then,
Yeah, well, I'm Rob, I'm sorry, I should have asked at with the meeting we had, outdoor lighting, I don't see any lighting. Is there gonna be lighting on the building and stuff, or
It's just wall packs, all down lighting.
down lighting, shielded too, I hope?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah,
there-
it's all shielded, it's all, I don't even know if you can you even buy, like, the non-conforming?
Yes, and they're all down Federal Road, so.
Really?
No list of it.
Yeah, that's the only thing we know now, is like the full cutoff down lights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
there's some cheap ones you can get in F&M Electric or something, and people put them on.
Something cheap at F&M.
Well,
Well,
200
relative.
200 bucks industrial, so, there's a bunch
Imported
of
from
them.
Canada?
Yeah, I guess, not anymore. So, yeah, good point, thank you, Fran.
Okay.
We were trying to keep the light
Do you want us to
down.
put like a notation on there, or do you want like a photometric plan, or?
Maybe a photometric would be.
Okay, I'll
fine.
get you a photometric
And
plan.
also, and if it doesn't matter to you, and I have to see what the zone calls for, but, 3,500 Kelvin or less, because, just to keep that warm white.
But what did you want it?
Either 3,500 or 3,000, those are, the color temperatures,
Or, so 3,500 or less?
yeah.
Okay.
and to be honest, there isn't a lot of lights on the building now.
No, but the cool white is.
No, I agree. I'm just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
again, they're,
Yeah.
for that space in particular, you've got the street light,
Yeah,
that's the light in the front of the building.
no, you're sure. And those are warm.
I'm going to make a motion to continue this public hearing with respect to application Z-.
Oh, wait, I have to ask for a yea
Oh.
or nay. I have to go through this.
But there's 65 days though, am I
Yes.
okay to talk?
From the time,
Yes, yes.
from the time, yeah.
Well, let me just go through, let the record show there's nobody in the audience to either speak for or against the application.
So we're gonna make a motion to continue this public hearing till April 24th.
I'll second.
Okay. Can I talk at all, or are we too?
Yeah,
That-
before we vote.
I'm gonna be out of the country, so somebody else is gonna have to take my place.
That's fine.
Would it help if I got you a new look for the building quickly, so if you've got any comments, at least I'll be able to kind of
You
address
can,
it?
or you can send us something asking us on the 24th to continue it to May 8th.
I don't think you really wanna continue though, right? Or,
Because is it 65 days from April 24th then, if you approve it then, or is it 65 days from May 4th?
We have
65 days
65
from the
days
day
from-
we called it,
Yeah,
so.
this open from
So
this day.
June 4th, you have till June 14th,
Oh, from today.
from
Yeah,
from
from
March
today.
27th, from March 27th.
I mean, they could still take 65 days anyway, so I'm not sure that 24 4 is gonna make any difference, right? If
okay,
it's
I know, I just wanna kinda keep things moving
And if
along
You
for
might
you.
wanna keep it moving also, but if they still
Yeah.
have 65 days, then they've got 65 days.
And of course, you can submit the plans earlier and,
Okay.
they can be.
Yeah, and that way there, if anybody has any comments, give me any input that you have, and I'll just make sure it gets addressed.
If there isn't much that we can do to the front of it, is that gonna stall the whole plan altogether, or?
No, in my personal opinion, I think, industrial chic, but it's an improvement over what was there.
Yes, but I live there.
I understand that, I drive
And-
by there too. and-
So would you rather have it keep looking the same way that it is now? or
No,
would you- okay.
no.
That's all- that's
But
all.
a little,
I'm not
a
saying that
little
we can't do anything
tweak,
either, Gwen, I'm just trying to,
No,
a
we're-
little tweak, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all, that's
I've got
all
some ideas, I
that
think, that
I've
we can
heard.
do
And
something to.
Because the back looks very nice.
right.
So we'll see what they come back with and
Yes.
to tell, and see what, you know,
Yes.
to beautify it a little more. It's more beautiful than the woes.
Yeah.
So we have a motion on the floor to continue the public hearing
Second.
in a second. And any more discussion? We're gonna keep it open so we can see their next plan coming in. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And of course, you'll be able to talk at the next public, because it's open. If you have anybody who wants to come forward and speak for or against, you can invite them too.
I don't think you're gonna invite the ones against. All right, thank you.
All right,
Thanks, sir.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, we appreciate it.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Is it gonna be that color?
I like that color. Do you like that color? Cause I think it's blue and it.
I don't know.
Gwen wanted it bright blaze orange.
There you
I
go.
was thinking she wanted
Hot
pink.
pink, hot pink.
Yeah, it gives it that kind of,
I mean,
with the
have you
blue.
seen that building out there that has that Viz orange car that's right in front of it? Like I
Oh
can't
my
even
God,
look at that
yeah.
car right now.
Some of the, there's a marina type of a place like in San Diego, and it looks like the facade. You remember when Johnny Carson was on the Tonight Show and he had that multicolored curtain and everything? The facade was made to look
Oh,
like that
100%
curtain.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, ready?
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright.
we're trying to pick, paint and fixture colors right now, that's actually why we came in to meet with Rob today, so we're open ideas, I mean, clearly, like, we like that nautical look anyway, which is more of a blue look, so, I mean, ideally, I think we'd like to go with what he came up with on his own, we thought it was pretty good.
all right, well, we're
All
gonna,
right.
I'll
Alright.
stop in.
I'm gonna make a motion to set a public hearing for One Pleasant Rise application Z-25-16. Joseph Stewart, that's a single-family conversion application for legalization of a pre-existing 642 square foot accessory apartment for Thursday, April 24th, 2025.
all right, thank you, Matt. Do I have a 2nd?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tony. Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, is unanimous.
All right, motion to set a public hearing for 142 Wiskinier Road, application Z-25-16, Ankle Marie, 17, Ankle Marie. Single-family conversion application for an 800 square foot accessory apartment for Thursday, April 24th, 2025.
Thank you, Matt.
Second.
Thank you, Sean. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous. All right, thank you. 9, tabled item.
Motion to continue to April 24th.
All right, do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tony. Any discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All
All
right,
right, I'm gonna push it. April 22nd, folks, April 22nd, Brookfield High School, 7 o'clock, the POCD workshop. That is your next opportunity to weigh in. I want all commission members hopefully to send your emails, any place you can. I mean, there are, if anybody's not seen the signs popping up around town, they're very nice. And I think we have some more to put up, right, Fran?
Yes, sir.
And so if you want one, get up, but folks, that's your opportunity, 7 to 9. From what I'm told, there'll be refreshments, so if you didn't
not
answer.
dinner, refreshments.
And no cocktails. And if you didn't weigh in on the survey, come join the discussion on April 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt. Anybody else, any comments? John?
Speed round.
Who's going on the 22nd? I mean, I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Kind of up in there right now.
Anybody
yes.
wants to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a
I'll
motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Thank
second.
you, Gwen. Thank you, Tony. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. The meeting ended at
Tuesday,
47?
7:47, yes.
the